All right. Good morning, everyone. So that was such a good one. That was such a good video. I really like watching videos like that have to do with sports because my daughter is in gymnastics. So it's almost gotten me like back into like that athlete mindset. Chris and I were athletes growing up. So that sport mentality I resonate with. So now that and then I got out of sports for like 2 decades. So now that my daughter is in gymnastics, it's a super heavy sport, very demanding. So I have to also get my mind back into that mentality of sport, competitiveness, and resilience, endurance, not missing practices when we feel lazy like we did yesterday, things like that. So it's like a constant reminder of like, what it takes to be good, So we missed practice yesterday because we got lazy. I wanted to cook and I had like too much to do, and then she just didn't feel like it. We had like pasta for lunch, and that was a bad idea. So so today we're going to talk about stamina and mental endurance. So mental endurance and stamina, that is something that I think we're all created with to begin with. I mean, just to go to the birthing process as babies, I think you're already thrown into stamina and endurance and dealing with something very hard after you were in something that was very comfortable and not challenging. Now suddenly, you're kicked into a whole different type of environment. So um, I think God instilled stamina and endurance in us in a very young age. That's good news. That's good news. Now it's our turn. It's our job now to maintain it and to grow it. It's already there as a seed, but now we have to like nurture it. We have to water it. We have to grow it. We have to continue to serve it more challenges in order for it to grow stronger. It's funny that we have to throw more challenges at it in order for it to grow stronger, but that's a big piece of it. We have to throw more challenges at it in order for it to get stronger. We also have to throw good things at it, like what things that we consume. It's not just like constantly throwing challenges and that's it. We also have to counteract it with some good things, positive things. Some things I wrote down, not in this video, but actually in this video, in there, I don't know if some of you guys caught it, but one of the swimmers said, one of the speakers said, you have to like increase your motivations. Everybody is motivated by different things. So if you don't have many motivations or aspirations or inspirations that are like pushing you or that you're pushing towards, your stamina and your endurance isn't then going to be that strong because you don't have anything like propelling you forward. You just have challenges, hopefully, that you're dealing with. But if you don't have things that are pushing you like the wind forward, pulling you forward, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to maintain the stamina and endurance that you need. Yeah, I'll definitely put that link in the chat for you guys. So I wrote down, I got to increase what motivates me. I got to increase what inspires me. I got to increase my vision, of course. I got to increase and practice my long-term thinking. I think with long-term thinking, that also increases our stamina and our endurance because we're thinking for the long one. We're not just like thinking about how to get through today and tomorrow, because then our stamina needs to be this big. But when our brain is thinking 20 years from now, naturally our mind is going to increase the necessary stamina and endurance it's going to take for us to deal with whatever we're going to experience in those next 20 years. Our mind literally does the calculation and is like, oh, okay, then I need this much stamina and endurance. So it's a lot of like psychology that happens in the way that we learn to increase our stamina and our endurance, and long-term thinking and vision stretching is a psychological way of doing that. So, excuse me, those things take practice. Just like athleticism and being great at a sport takes a lot of physical practice, having that long-term carrot, that long-term thing you're thinking about, that's propelling you forward. It's kind of like the carrot and the horse. The horse is constantly seeing the carrot in front, so it's going to keep on walking. it's like that. If you constantly have that vision out there in front of you, so you're going to keep on pushing forward to reach that vision. So that takes practice, vision stretching, long-term thinking practice. Every time you get yourself to start thinking, I can only think about next week. I don't know what's going to happen next month. I'm only thinking about next week right now. X that out and put into practice long-term thinking. What do the next 10 years look like for me? What house do I want to be at? What job do I want to be at? What type of friends do I want to have out back then? What new skill am I gonna learn then? Or am I gonna have the same skills, or am I gonna bring in new skills in 10 years? Right? You start to really dive deep and really start to dissect those 10 years in your head. And I like to write things down because that really helps be able to dissect it even further and in more detail and more clarity, which again only gives your brain more information in order to be able to formulate that calculation and figure out how much stamina and endurance am I going to need to get there. It's pretty amazing when you really think about it and put it into practice. The other thing is learning to welcome the challenges. We said before, like it's going to take a lot of challenges in order to increase your stamina and your endurance. One of the people said it in that video. Like I didn't know what I was capable of. I didn't think I could do it, but I kept trying. And then my beliefs started increasing. And then, I just wouldn't quit. It was mental toughness. He said he wasn't even a good swimmer. He wasn't even the best swimmer, but he swam the channel. So basically, his mind, his mental toughness allowed him to do some amazing physical thing he didn't think he could physically do. It's amazing what happens when you don't quit, when resilience takes, the front row and magic happens. So what does it take to get there? When you think about it, when we think about physical endurance, physical stamina, it takes a lot of tearing of muscles, hurting your body, sometimes breaking things, even pulling things, feeling like you're going to quit in order to go to the next level. And then next thing you know, you're even stronger. You're like, wow, if I could do that, and then I could do the next thing. Then the next challenge can be even bigger because I actually survived that. So, which means I could probably survive more. In order for people who lift weights to get to the next level of muscle, they have to tear their muscle. It has to tear. It literally has to tear in order to grow. That tearing is slow. It's not like you get in there and you just start pumping 250 pounds. No, it's a slow burn. And it tears slowly over time in order to continue to build itself bigger. Your brain is the same thing. You have to tear it. You have to break some habits. You have to, rethink some ways. And I watched another video before this, but I didn't show it to you guys. It was about neuroplasty. Our brain is neuroplastic, which means it can tear. It can create new pathways. It can get rid of other pathways. It can remold itself. It's not fixed. It's the same thing. It's tearing to create new pathways. So our brain is capable of that, just like our muscles are capable of that. So how do we get to the place where we can tear our mental toughness and get to the next level? It's by welcoming mental challenges that, we might not think we're capable of enduring, but we do. How does that happen sometimes? It's not like we're just like throwing ourselves into danger. No. Sometimes that happens if you get sick or if a loved one gets sick, and you could never have imagined not seeing that person healthy, or never have dealt with a sick person and they get really sick. Maybe a loved one got cancer, and you dealt with that and you guys dealt with it. Maybe they passed away and you never thought you could deal with something like that, but then you did. And then you kept going. Life kept going and you recovered. That's the tearing of the brain. That's dealing with something you never thought you could deal with before, but you did. And you kept going and life kept going and you got stronger for it. It can happen without us welcoming it. It can happen if you get sick and you never thought you can get through it. But guess what? Now you're faced with death, potential death, and you got nothing else to lose but pushing through it and becoming mentally strong and dealing with it. When you are on the other side of that, and you could look back and be like, oh my God, I dealt with that and I got through and I survived and God got me through and I kept my faith. And I maybe made some dietary changes, and I maybe made some health changes in my life because my back was against the wall. Now I'm ready for the next challenge. Now I'm actually going to live life to the fullest. No more fear, no more, negativity, no more. Your brain just went to the next level. It went through something it never thought it could go through, and it went to the next level. Maybe you got laid off. You never thought that would happen to you. You got laid off in your 40s. Oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, guess what? You dealt with it. You didn't commit suicide like unfortunately some people do. You didn't go into a major depression for the next 10 years. You instead jumped back up, got another job, a better job. Maybe you started that business you never thought about starting before that, right? You got through that part. You look back now and be like, oh my gosh, that was a tough part in my life. And I got through it. Wow, I do have that level of endurance that I need. Your brain realizes that, like, I can actually get through things because we're kind of forced to go through it when challenges like that arise. You can also welcome challenges. Don't just wait for them to happen, like those kinds of challenges. Welcome challenges. Go on a fast. Go on a no sugar fast for a week. See how your body reacts. Push yourself, right? Go on a non-carbs fast. Go on a no television or social media fast, right? Go on a whatever fast, whatever, pleasures you and is probably not good for you. Fast it for 7 to 10 days and push yourself. Welcome those kind of challenges. And that will start to build your stamina and your endurance. And then maybe you're like, oh, I could do 2 weeks. Oh man, I could do 30 days. Man, I haven't even looked at sugar anymore. My body just doesn't even like sugar anymore. I get all queasy whenever I have anything sweet. Your body went to the next level. Your brain went to the next level. You withstood something that was very hard. Your stamina and your endurance and mental toughness grew because you welcomed that type of challenge. So those are the things that we can do to increase our stamina and our endurance. Because let me tell you, you guys, I don't know if it's like the universe or the energy that's happening in the world, but or just human nature. I'm not sure, but people are losing their stamina and their endurance. They're losing it, and you can see it. People are getting a temper and throwing a tantrum and becoming violent in a fast food place because they have no stamina and no endurance. They're done. They're tired. They're done with the world. They're angry. They're reacting, and you could see it across the board. People are less social with one another. They've lost their mental stamina to even be social with people. They need to constantly be like, I'm antisocial because it's just too hard. I'm exhausted with people. People get on my nerves. That's a lack of mental stamina and endurance. And it's happening across the board. You could see it. You could see it in our kids. You could see it in teenagers. You could see teenagers that are already like, I gotta work and go to school. What? And you're like, what? Back, for us, I had 2 jobs and I went to school. What are you talking about? What do you mean? That's a lack of stamina and endurance, right? So if we are not checking that, then, it will eventually naturally cause decay in our muscle, in our mental toughness. It will start to decay because we have to constantly be growing it, maintaining it. That leads me to what types of things decay and create is the word apathy I'm looking for? I think it's apathy. But yeah, what creates that? Things that consume us. Of course, on a physical level, of course, sugar, carbs, bad diet, not exercising, all of those things, of course, deplete us physically. What depletes us mentally? Things we're consuming that might not be good for us. Violence on TV that are desensitizing us or causing depression or anxiety or fear, right? Things we see on the news that's kind of controlling us and also causing us to live in fear, live in uncertainty. Things that we might be watching that creates more drama and gossip and things like that in our life. Like reality TV shows. I feel like reality TV is honestly like mental cancer in a way, because it's not reality TV, and it's I don't let my daughter watch any sort of reality TV cartoons because I do think it's like watching other families do stuff that's fun, and oh my God, they're living the life and shopping sprees and fun stuff, and we spend all day saying yes, and just really unrealistic things that are just like decay, right? So all the things that could possibly consume you are causing mental decay. There's two things you can do with the outside world. You could allow it to consume you, or you can consume it. That's what's going to happen. Social media, you can allow it to consume you, or you can consume it and use it properly. Use it for brand recognition, marketing, whatever, communicating with loved ones and friends, those simple things. Or you can allow it to consume you, doom scrolling, constantly grabbing your phone every 5 minutes because it's become a habit, physical, mental habit, having your phone nearby, constantly have to jump on because you're bored. Your brain went to sleep. It doesn't pick up a book. It picks up social media to scroll, waiting for people to follow you and like your videos. And if they don't, makes you feel bad. Oh, that's how it consumes you, your children, your teenagers, your younger kids, not just adults. It just starts with them at a much earlier age and hooks in them much earlier. I mean, social media came when all of us on here were already adults. Imagine it's here and their children. So the hooks in them are going to be a lot deeper than the hook is in us. So we've really got to teach them how to consume it so it does not consume them. Because even as adults, I mean, I know for me, I doom scroll sometimes and I'll catch myself like, what the hell? I've been freaking scrolling for 30 minutes and I got to get off my phone. Yeah, like, I got to stop. Or I'll catch myself grabbing my phone every 5 minutes. Like I didn't just look at it. And so I gotta, oh my gosh, there it goes. I gotta catch myself and retrain my brain. So neuroplasty, I gotta retrain it. When I'm bored, pick up a book, Zara. Don't pick up my phone and scroll. So anything in this world, whether it's like mental, whether we're consuming with our eyes, with our ears, with our mouth, right? With our hands, whatever we're consuming things with, we're either going to consume it or it's going to consume us. We have that choice to make. Yes, baby. I don't know. Chris will kill me if he knows I'm doing this, but my daughter wants to say something. Go ahead.
So if you're fasting something, tell yourself that thing is not responsible for anything you do. Yeah. And it's very stupid, that thing, for when you're fasting. But then you could go back to doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. That's right. Train your brain. Sugar is not good for me. Sugar is the enemy. And then next week you'd be like, oh, a little bit of sugar is not going to hurt. But yes, absolutely true. Sometimes we have to tell our brain things in order for us to, push forward and do it, right? We have to tell our brain, like, sugar is not good for me. Sugar is the enemy. It's not good. You got to pep yourself up and talk yourself through those cravings, because the cravings are real. Addictions are real. Social media is not good for me. I don't need social media today. It's fine. No one's going to miss me. I'm not going to miss anyone. Everyone's still going to be there, right? So those are ways we can really train ourselves, and be aware of things. So again, the world is not consuming us and we are consuming the world, and we're building our stamina and endurance while doing so. I want to leave you guys with one scripture that really resonated with me too, as it pertains to stamina and endurance. And the fact that we have that seed in us. It's in all of us. It's a gift. We just have to nurture it and water it. And that's what God tells us to do, even in his word. It says here in Hebrews 12, 2-3, it says, looking to Jesus, the founder and the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that they may not grow weary or faint in heart. Faint-hearted. So that they may not grow weary and faint-hearted. That to me tells me Jesus endured so that we can learn to endure life and all the challenges that we're going to, our cross, right? And we may not grow weary and faint hearted. That's amazing. It correlates. God is telling us, I gifted you with endurance. I showed you through Jesus that he endured, and you have that seed in you to endure. And I don't want you to grow weary and faint in heart. And the way we do that is by consuming the world in a better way for ourselves and giving ourselves the gift of stamina and endurance and welcoming more challenges and growing ourselves so that we don't grow weary and faint in heart, and passing that gift to others, not just working on yourself, but also teaching others and helping others to not grow weary also. Oh yes, let me put that link in here so I don't forget. So I hope you guys receive that. I hope that brought you something special today. And I hope you guys have a really great weekend. If you are anywhere in the East Coast, please stay safe because they are expecting really bad weather. So be safe out there. Let me see. I'm going to put the link in here for you guys. Okay, there it is.
Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before. You're all in.
All right. Link in chat. And from this link, you can also search, the psychology of extreme sports. That was one thing I searched. Exactly that, the psychology of extreme sports. And that led me to all kinds of other great videos that are all around that kind of stuff. And then that led me to neuroplasticity and stuff like that. I would also look that up too, neuroplasticity, because that's going to teach you the science behind how you can actually change your brain and create new pathways and get rid of pathways that didn't serve you and all kinds of stuff. So I encourage you guys to go look that stuff up. All right. Have a great weekend and stay safe out there, everybody.